Hello, Malcolm here, and welcome to the Sunday Sample for Corporate Worship Matters. And today it's episode 116, and it's the first of 2020. And I was going to give you a review of a book I've read. It's called How to Write Worship Songs. I'm showing it to you if you're watching the video. How to Write Worship Songs, Resourcing the Local Church by Joel Payne and Sam Hargreaves. I was going to review it, but having read it, I'm looking at it now, I have made so many notes on every page, it's very difficult to review it properly. And it's only a short booklet. It is 28 pages long, including the notes at the end. And so instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to recommend that you buy a copy, like I did. I got it from Resound Worship. Their website has details of it. Resound Worship, I'm subscribed to that website. I subscribe to the podcast, which I find very interesting about worship music. And I think more of us need to write songs, don't we? We need to write songs for our local congregations. And so I've taken a plunge. I'm very nervous about this. I've taken the plunge and joined the 12 song challenge, as it's called. So Resound Worship I've been running this for a few years, 2 or 3 years now, where they challenge people to write basically a song a month. And there's some guidance on that. There's a supporting community, and I've joined that. Now, I've written just a handful of songs, and I don't really consider myself to be much of a songwriter, to be perfectly honest. I think I'm getting a little better at it, and I'm having some help from an old university friend of mine called Lawrence. Thank you, Lawrence, very much. But I think I'm at the very early stages of being an effective songwriter, but I believe our congregations need more songs that come from us, from our hearts, our own minds, to the needs of our local congregation. And one of the reasons they give in the book for writing songs is that very point. Let me read you this section, actually. The voice of the local church. These are reasons for writing songs. If you're a local church songwriter, you are in a unique position. While songs by globally renowned writers, who intimidate us all, of course, have their place in reinforcing the worldwide community of the church, no one else can put into song what you can for your own congregation. Now, that's true. No one can do it for your church like you, or my church like me. Whether it's a particular area of teaching you want to emphasize, a shared experience in your community, or a style that makes the most of the musical gifts in your church, there's nobody quite like you who can write songs for your context. And on they go. I think that's so true. This year, 2020, in the Thames Valley Churches of Christ, our theme verse is Mark 12, 30, 31, about love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Love your neighbor as yourself. We need a song about that. That's our theme for the year. We need a song in Thames Valley for that to be expressed, for the local congregation. What does that mean for us? And we know what it means. I think we reasonably know what it means in your general sense, but what does that mean for Thames Valley? To love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And what does it mean to love our neighbors in the Thames Valley area as ourselves? So just before Christmas, I went up to Payne, who's a bit of a poet, and I said, Payne, what do you think about this idea of us writing a song for this congregation? How would you feel about coming up with some lyrics? I'm better at tunes than I am with lyrics. And she was so excited. I'm looking forward to her. She's going to be thinking and praying about that over Christmas and New Year. I'm looking forward to catching up with her about that. I talked to Alex Clegg, one of our musicians, about working on some songs, on some tunes and chords and things together for this song. And he's going to think about that as well. It'll be a collective effort. It won't be me writing a song. I wanted to make it something we do together. I feel that's a big challenge for us as a church. I think it's a big challenge for me, and joining the 12 song challenge. And this book, though, is helping me. And it's got some really useful, practical, some quite simple, but certainly profound and useful ideas to help us write songs. You may say, I'm not a songwriter, but I beg to differ. Pretty much all of us who lead worship, we have at moments been so inspired by a particular scripture or scriptural theme that tunes come into our head, or we found ourselves whistling something, or been out praying and some song comes to mind. I think it's more common than we'd like to admit. It's just that we don't develop it into a full song. That's okay. Look, if you wrote one song this year, one song for your congregation, and if all of our congregations, just within the UK and my fellowship of churches, which is about 12, 15 churches, if we had one song written in every of our congregations in 2020, that'd be 12 or 15 songs. If we did that every year, well, it wouldn't take long before we had a really big song book. And the song for your congregation might not work so well for mine and vice versa, but at least we'd have some songs. Could you take up the challenge? And I'm going to write 12 songs this year. Lord, please help me, because I don't know quite how I'm going to do that, but I'm going to do my best to write 12 songs. They may not all come out to be finished articles, but I'm going to write 12 songs. Could you write one? Oh, I bet you can. I bet you can write one, especially with the help of others in your local congregation. Or perhaps you could send me your ideas and I'll send you mine, and then we can help each other. That'd be a good way to do it, wouldn't it? Anyway, you might want to get this book. It costs £3 something. I think it was £5 something, including postage. You can find it online. How to Write Worship Songs. Joel Payne, Sam Hargreaves. Look them up on Resound Worship, or this was published by Grove Books Limited. I bet you could find it up there somewhere. Thanks for listening. Let's write some songs this year, people. Let's do it for God's glory and for the needs of our congregation. If you've got any thoughts on this, please leave a comment wherever you hear or see this recording. And if you know someone else that might benefit from this, especially any songwriters, pass the link on to them. If you haven't already done so, subscribe by hitting the subscribe button, the notification button in YouTube, and leave me a review in iTunes or wherever, well, Apple Podcasts as they now are, or wherever you get your podcasts from, and I'd be very, very grateful. Thanks. Let's write some songs. Take care. God bless.